from left to right, and the battery of Fisk and Burns. The Sox starting tonight, they have won 3 of their last 5. The White Sox, that is. A record of 16-22, but still 5.5 games behind the division leaders, the California Angels. Here's Evans, spinning out of the way, and ooh, that will get your attention on a little chilly night, especially with the velocity that Burns has. There you see the weather conditions. A little high and off the glove of Fisk. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Brett Burns won his first game in his last start, that against Kansas City, to score 9-6. A strike to Evans, and the count 2-1. With the White Sox, that record of 16-22, 5.5 games behind the Angels. Just talking about it the other day. That is hit to center field, hit hard, and Cook misjudged it, and goes back to make the catch. Oh, Rusty Cook started in, came back. That ball's trying to slice away from him. And boy, he just got a glove on it, Kenny.
Well, Rusty thought the ball was going to be in front of him. All of a sudden took a couple of steps in, and there it is. Having to really bust his fanny to get back there to make the play, and a nice catch.
Now there's 2 gone, and that will bring on Jim Rice. Rice hitting .282, 8 home runs, 31 RBIs. That's hit safely in 28 of 32 games. On 1 the count, but talking about just in that one column that you'll see in the paper in the morning, games behind leader. Rice with a very weak swing, 0-2 the count. It's going to take a while for the Sox to make up some ground. When you are 7 games behind 500, and tonight starting 6 games under that 500 mark, it's going to take you close to a month to try and get anywhere as near the top part in that standing, because you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, and that's right back to Burns. Self-defense, he has it, and throws him out. So the Red Sox are gone 1, 2, 3. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back. No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave nobody. After the first half inning of play, it's the Red Sox nothing, the White Sox coming up.
This Bud's for everyone who answers the call when someone needs help. Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do. This Bud's for you.
2 of America's most elegant cars are now at your neighborhood Chrysler Plymouth dealer. Come in and see this exclusive town and country convertible. The exciting new front-wheel drive New Yorker, our finest, most advanced, most affordable luxury sedan. Both are available with rich Mark Cross leather interiors, and both are covered by Chrysler's 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty and rust-through protection plan. Exciting new cars and deals to match at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
As the left-hander Bruce Hurst takes his warm-up tosses, we want to remind you this program was authorized under television rights granted by the Chicago White Sox solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any reproduction or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the expressed written consent of the Chicago White Sox is prohibited.
Out checking the Boston defense, you see Boggs at third, Hoffman at short, Remy at second, Stapleton at first. Rice in left, Nichols in center, Evans in right. And the battery of Allenson and left-hander Bruce Hurst. Bruce, born in St. George, Utah, a 6'3", 185-pounder, and still makes his home in St. George, entering professional baseball 1976 at Elmira. He was a Red Sox #1 pick in the '76 June draft.
Well, Bruce has the ability. He throws the ball well, has a pretty good curveball, good slider. But the thing that's bothered him in the past has been more or less his temperament. Not that he's a hothead, he's by far anything from that. He's a Mormon youngster. And sometimes he just gets very, very discouraged out there and loses his concentration. At that point, he gets a little wild and lit up.
Now Hurst will face Bernazard, Fisk, and Baines in that order. Bernazard hitting .264, has hit safely in 4 of his last 5 games. You see the 2 home runs and 21 RBIs. Now Hurst ready to go to work. And there's the strike on that inside corner. Infield about straight away, the outfield the same. On deck is Carlton Fisk. Bernazard tied for second in the American League with doubles. And the curveball in and over, 0-2. Hurst making his 9th start of the year, record of 3-2 and a 4.38 earned run average. Now that's fouled away. Bernazard just getting a piece of it. Count remains 0-2. That's Jimmy Leland coaching at third. On the left of your screen, Davey Nelson over at first. Now right side out of play. So the final game of the Red Sox. And the next time that these 2 clubs will meet will be at Fenway Park next Monday afternoon. Over the holiday weekend. It'll be Monday afternoon, then Tuesday night and Wednesday night before returning home to face the Kansas City Royals in a big 5-game series. That is lifted high to center. Reed Nichols right there. And out number 1. Now the rubber game tonight. As the Red Sox won opening night, the White Sox winning big last night, 12-4. The opening night score, 6-4 Boston, Brown over Dotson. Last night it was 12-4 White Sox, Koosman over Bird. And tonight, 2 left-handers, Burns and Hurst, as Carlton Fisk stands in, hitting .180, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. On deck, Harold Baines. Carlton has hit safely in 5 of his last 7 games, so he's starting to show signs of snapping out of that slump, and a good change. 0-1 the count.
When Hurst first came up, the change was his best pitch. And there for a couple of years, he sort of lost his rhythm with it and his motion the same way Dotson did the first half of last season.
Fisk taking inside. Boy, he threw a dandy that first one to Fisk. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Boy, that Minnesota ball club is hot. 6-0 over Baltimore. Just outside, and the count 2-1.
They're hot, and the Orioles are cold. Toronto pitching staff must have put those Oriole hitters in a bit of a slump.
Boy, I was just looking at these Red Sox notes because they have a 5-game series with Toronto coming up. That is outside. The count goes to 3-1. And the Red Sox today starting a game behind Toronto. Toronto on top in that American League East.
Well, Toronto's going to start them off with a pretty good pitcher out there tomorrow.
Well, you better vote in Dave Steve. I hope so. But I will tell you this. They have got a tough series as Fisk draws a walk. And then we'll bring on Harold Baines. They will go Bobby Ojeda, Dave Steve, John Tudor, Jim Clancy. On Saturday, Mike Brown, Luis Leal. Then on Sunday, Dennis Eckersley and Doug Bird against Mike Morgan and Jim Gott. Now if you even thought the worst of everything, you got a chance of being in a bad position come Monday morning if you don't get things going. They're showing a pretty good move right there.
He's decent over to first.
Now on deck is Greg Luzinski. Baines hitting .265, 2 home runs, 23 RBIs. Well, the White Sox are now in for a picnic against the Texas Rangers coming to town because tomorrow night it'll be Floyd Bannister and Rick Honeycutt There's a strike to Baines, 0-1 the count. Friday night, Lamar Hoyt and Frank Tanana. On Saturday, a 3:05 start, don't forget. Rich Dodson and Charlie Huff. And then on Sunday afternoon, Jerry Kuzman and Mike Smithson. The low, the count 1-1. So that will not be 4 days at the beach.
Well, Honeycutt's 5-3 with a 1.74 ERA.
And Tanana's pitched well. Not that much, but well. Good off-speed breaking pitch to Baines. 1-2 the count. Harold out in front. Infield double play depth. No score. We're in the White Sox first. There you see the infield and double play depth. And about straight away was Stapleton holding Fisk at first. Stapleton touches first, throws to second, the tag, and they double him up. Now, once the play was made at first base, that took off the force at second base. Stapleton making a good play. The White Sox are gone, and after one, no score.
Your next car has to last a long time. You've got to make the right choice. Thousands of dollars are at stake.
Right.
The experts say the right choice is at your Toyota dealer. Celica is a winner. Exceptional quality. Corolla, well-built, reliable, economical. Cressida, smooth and sure. A quality car throughout. Toyota four-wheel drive, a bargain.
Right.
The right choice at your Toyota dealers now. Your Toyota dealers got it right.
If you're loaded down with yard work, let True Value Hardware stores help lighten the load with this easy-to-maneuver homeowner's wheelbarrow. For bigger jobs, get True Value's heavy-duty wheelbarrow with a seamless steel tray. Or choose the large-capacity lawn cart with a tough steel frame. And you can load up to 300 pounds on this True Value hand truck. Available at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
Well, Fan Sunday, June 5th, promises to be a big day for the Sox and the fans. Not only do the Sox play the Kansas City Royals in a big doubleheader, but the White Sox and Wendy's Hamburgers have teamed up to bring you Jersey Day. That's when the first 15,000 kids 14 and under attending that game will receive a free high-quality replica of the White Sox home jersey, courtesy of Wendy's Hamburgers. That's White Sox Jersey Day doubleheader with the Kansas City Royals, Sunday, June 5th. For tickets, just dial 559-1212.
And as we go to the Boston second inning, it'll be Armas, Stapleton, and Boggs in that order. Armas at 215, 7 home runs, 22 RBIs. No score in the ball game. Brett Burns and Bruce Hurst. Boy, last night in that first inning, it took a long time and a lot of explosions. 1 ball and no strikes. Dwight Evans, after Remy led off the game with a single, hit his 6th home run of the year to give the Red Sox a 2-0 lead. Good fastball by Burns, 1-1. As we check the Boston coaches, Eddie Yost at third base, Tommy Harper over at first. And by the time all the dust had cleared for the White Sox, they came back and scored 8 runs of their own on 6 hits. And that was inning number 1 with 8 more to go. And after it was all over, the Sox won at 12-4. 2 balls and a strike to Armas. Infield deep, outfield the same. Three and one.
$1,250 worth of fireworks last night. Every time a Sox player hits a home run, they pop off about $250.
Boy, that's amazing. I never knew that. Full count, 3-2. Big swing by Armas. Atlanta shut out Pittsburgh 6-0. Seattle 2-1 over Cleveland. Raining in Toronto. There's another good fastball, and Armas down swinging. But Burns just challenged him right there.
Now, when you throw as hard as Britt Burns, you can challenge almost anybody who walks up there. Tony Armas is a good high fastball hitter, but when you're throwing as hard as Britt, you better turn that dial up or you're not going to get on top at all.
Now here's Dave Stapleton, hitting .237 with 3 home runs, 24 RBIs. There's a strike to Dave.
Talking with some of the Red Sox players before the game, they were talking about how Minnesota was trying to pitch Armas up high. Struck him out the first couple of times up, then the third time up. Way back. Lead him a ball game.
1 ball and 1 strike. Well, you can get those guys at times where you know you can pitch them up, but it takes the proper man out there with the proper velocity.
That's right.
And if you don't get it, you're the wrong man in the wrong spot, and you're going to get stung. Everybody cannot pitch everybody alike, and that is one of the big fallacies you see in this game today. There's the strike. That's why I've always maintained that charts, unless you really know what you're doing with them, really don't mean that much, because everybody does not throw alike. There's a good slider. So Stapleton is gone. Strikeout number 2 for Burns.
This tough pitch for any right-handed hitter from Burns. Down and in. A weak swing right there that Stapleton put on it.
Wade Boggs with 2 outs will stand in. Wade hitting .358 and 15 RBIs on the year. One ball and no strikes to count. Boggs has hit an even .500 in his last 5 games. That slider for a strike. Anxious to see if we have anything during the course of this broadcast from our Sports Vision studios. There's a line shot, and Boggs is still hot. Kittle will get it back in, and that's the first hit of the ball game, and that'll bring on Reed Nichols, getting away from Nozinski, but not far enough. And that San Francisco-New York Met game, evidently, Frank Robinson and Jim Barr had some words and had it right out on the middle of the mound. And it'll be interesting to see if we have anything from our studios tonight on that little confrontation between the two. Here's Nichols at .267. There's a curveball for the strike, 0-1 the count. We understand that Sports Vision definitely does have something on that, but they are going to use it for the post-game show. So we hope you stay with us. Interesting. Check swing, foul. Still the count 0-2 to Reed Nichols. This young man, Ken, the Red Sox have just been bringing along very slowly. Getting a little more playing time all the time. Good defensive outfielder, isn't he?
He's a good player. Just 24 years old. He'll surprise you. He's got a little pop in that bat.
To the count. No score when the top of the second. Line drive foul. Now Burns got the slider up, but he got it in on Nichols, and about the only thing to do was hook it foul unless he drags those hands through.
Well, he's strong, but he's not that strong.
Boy, I'll tell you, a man that used to be able to do that was Rocky Nelson. As good as anyone I saw. 2
Colavito wasn't bad.
To the count. Missing inside, the count 1-2. Minnesota now 6-1 over Baltimore, and that's just in the top of the 4th inning at Baltimore. And Nichols just got a piece of it. The Dodgers defeated Philadelphia 6-1. In that Dodger-Philadelphia game, Hooten the winner 2-2, Bystrom the loser 0-1. Pops him up, right side for Shoik right there, and that is out number 3. Well, the Red Sox are gone, no runs hit, no errors. They leave a man aboard after 1.5, no score.
Some things speak for themselves.
Meet the new heavyweight champions at Schaumburg Toyota. The brand new Toyota trucks that beat inflation, win on gas mileage, and take the trophy for tough. Under that muscle, knockout styling with sporty stripes, aggressive colors, and get powerhouse savings on brand new 2-wheel drives, 4-wheel drives, diesels. Schaumburg Toyota, the Midwest's largest volume Toyota dealer, flattens prices with our strongest discounts. So don't trust your work to the lightweights. Take on the heavyweight savings at Schaumburg Toyota. That's 875 Gulf Road in Schaumburg. Schaumburg Toyota! Sox best. Baseball's best. Sox best. Baseball's best.
I'm Floyd Bannister, and this year I've got a new cap. You can get one, too, if you're one of the first 40,000 fans on May 28th or 29th who comes out to Comiskey Park when we play Texas. Get the home cap one day, the road cap the next, courtesy of Coca-Cola. Come on both days and get both caps.
Cap Weekend, sponsored by Coca-Cola. Fans, Friday, May 27th is Jago Sangria Seat Cushion Night. That's when the first 15,000 fans, 21 and over, who attend will receive the seat cushion featuring the logo of the 1983 All-Star Game. For tickets, just dial 559-1212.
Now here's Greg Luzinski as he gets a big hand from the fans here tonight. The first player in Sox history to hit a home run in 5 consecutive games. And tonight, he goes for the tie of the record. First pitch outside, 1 ball and no strikes. So Bull at 213, 7 home runs, 23 RBI. The last American League player to do that was Reggie Jackson as Luzinski takes a strike. Jackson did it from July 18th to July 23rd of 1976. Good change. Boy, that's a damage. And Hurst has thrown 2 excellent changeups. 1 to Fisk and 1 to Luzinski. Bull has 8 hits in his last 23 at-bats and 9 RBIs in his last 5 games. Just missing inside the count 2-2. The Cubs didn't score in the first inning at Houston. Here's the 2-2 pitch outside. The count goes full 3-2. Full count 3-2. Luzinski fouled it straight back. And the count remains full 3-2. Well, we understand with Rich Garcia, his absence tonight, he was given permission to go home and be with his daughter tonight on her high school graduation. Boy, that's a night I know the dads always remember. and moms alike. The change is high. Second walk issued by Hurst, and that'll bring on Tom Peshorek with Ron Kittle on deck. In other National League action, we gave you the Giants 7-6 win over the New York Mets. Martin, the winner, 1-0. Allen, the loser, 2-5. As Peshorek stands in, takes a strike, a good fastball by Hurst. Tommy hitting .286, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. LeMaster hit his 3rd home run of the year. Clark is 5th. Kingman is 9th. Foster is 8th. Next pitch just inside, and the count 1-1. The Cardinals 7-2 over Cincinnati. Stuper the winner, 5-2. Power the loser, 1-2. Porter at his 6th home run of the year. Atlanta shut out Pittsburgh 6-0. McMurtry the winner, and Bibby the loser. There's a foul left side through the coaching box, bouncing off the box seat railing. As you see Tony La Russa down in the Sox dugout. So the count 1-2. And the major, Ralph Houck, over in the Boston dugout. Montreal got 2 in the 6th. They lead the Padres 2-0 after 6. Peshorek backing away that inside fastball. Can't give up on that too much. That fastball appears to have pretty good tail on it, Kenny.
He has good movement. And he'll try to. Gary Allison, the catcher, is the key right there. Gary likes to call the fastball inside.
And the count goes full 3-2. Now Luzinski at first, and a full count to Peshorek. See what Tony La Russa wants to do. Jimmy Leland has already flashed the sign. There goes the ball, and it's foul, third base side. Some American League scores. Milwaukee defeated Oakland 7-6. Haas the winner, 2-1. Underwood the loser, 3-2. Gross is 4th home run of the year. Moore is 1st, and Cooper is 7th. Seattle 2-1 over Cleveland. Beatty over Eichelberger. Bull doesn't go this time, and a fly ball hit into right field. Evans right there. That is out number 1. And that'll bring on Ron Kittle. Elsewhere in the American League, Detroit at Toronto delayed by rain. Should they get underway, that'll be Petrie against Gott after 3. Minnesota leading Baltimore 6-0. Check that 6-1. Dennis Martinez started again for Baltimore. We have not seen Martinez, but he is really having problems. Here's Kittle, just outside. Ryan has hit safely in 9 of his last 13 games, going 13 for 50. 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. Texas didn't score in the first inning. Kansas City at bat. Darwin against Black. And a base hit left center field. Luzinski to second base. He'll hold right there. They throw behind him, and the ball back in time.
But he didn't hit it hard, just muffled it out there over the head of the shortstop, Glenn Hoffman. Here comes Reed Nichols. Nichols with a good arm.
Now runners at first and second with 1 out. And Rusty Kuntz will be the hitter. Kuntz hitting .256 with an RBI. Strike, and the count is 0-1. On deck, Lorenzo Gray. Luzinski at second base with Kittle at first. Evans straight away in right. Nichols just a shade in left center. And Rice straight away left. The infield about straight away. Double play depth. Breaking pitch caught that inside corner. And the count is 0-2. Now the final game of the series between these two. And then the Texas Rangers come to town tomorrow night. Open up a 4-game series. That's Kittle at first and Luzinski at second. No score. We're in the bottom of the second. One ball and 2 strikes. Step on the bag, and they'll double him up. Good play, and a good heady play by Wade Boggs at third. Down the side, retired. No runs on a hit. No errors, and a man left. After 2, no score. Let's go back to the studio and Dick Gonski.
Hello again, everyone. Dick Gonski at our Sports Vision studios. A big day for Tony Eason of Illinois. With 3 professional football leagues wanting his services, he couldn't help but come out on top. The former Illini quarterback was sought after by the NFL, the USFL, and the Canadian Football League. Well, Champagne Tony finally made up his mind today. Eason has agreed to a $2.2 million 4-year deal with the New England Patriots. A verbal agreement was reached today after an 8-hour bargaining session. Eason set several collegiate passing records at Illinois and was the Patriots' #1 draft choice. The proposed contract would make Eason the 2nd highest paid Patriot behind veteran wide receiver Stanley Morgan. So our congratulations to Champagne Tony Eason of Illinois. In tennis, at the French Open, the big tennis names continue to win. Jimmy Connors beat Paul McNamee 6-4, 6-4, and 6-3. John McEnroe struggled for over 4 hours before beating fellow American Ben Testerman 3-6, 6-1, 6-2, 6-7, and 6-2. So that's the men's action. We will have the women's action later on in our broadcast. Right now, let's get back to Comiskey Park and rejoin Don Drysdale and Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Dick, thank you very much. And right here at Comiskey Park, there's no score through 2. As we go to the top of the third, Gary Allenson will lead it off, followed by Glenn Hoffman. And the top of the order, and Jerry Remy. Allenson hitting .263, has 7 RBIs on the year. Burns ready to go to work. One ball and no strikes to count. Allenson, for a catcher, will fool you. You got a little better speed than your normal catcher. There's a strike in the count, 1-1. Foul away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Shot foul.
The fans this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, May 28th and 29th, the Sox and Texas Rangers celebrate Cap Weekend. All fans who attend Saturday's game will receive the Sox home cap. All fans who attend Sunday's game will receive the Sox road cap. That's free caps for everybody. this Saturday and Sunday. For tickets, just dial 559-1212. That's sponsored by Coca-Cola. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Gary Allenson. Inside to count 2-2. Allenson, the leadoff hitter here for the Red Sox in the top of the third. No score. Both clubs with 1 hit apiece. Pops him up right side, shallow right. Harold Baines, lots of room. And there's 1 away. Here's Glenn Hoffman, the shortstop. Well, the one thing that we did notice about the Red Sox prior to the game, when the bullpenners start heading down to that pen out in deep right center, one man who certainly has done a whale of a job for these Red Sox, Bob Stanley, had sideline jacket and glove in hand heading for deep right center as Hoffman takes a strike. Right at 234 with 8 RBIs on the year. Oh, and 2 the count. So the Sox have been pretty fortunate in the respect that they have not seen Stanley in this 3-game series. Of course, prior to the Red Sox coming to town, Stanley went 10 innings in relief. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Strikes out. There's 2 gone. Good quick breaking ball right here from Britt Burns. Got in a good spot going down hard, and Hoffman just couldn't get a piece of it.
Now with 2 outs, Jerry Remy, the leadoff hitter, stands in. Remy bounced to Bernazard. His first time at bat. See Jerry at 263 with 15 RBIs. Kittle and Coates. It is Kittle for the catch, and the Red Sox are gone 1, 2, 3 in the third. 3 up, 3 down after 2.5. No score.
It's get a car, get a check time again at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. And this time you have a choice of a factory rebate or unbeatable 9.8% financing. Get $300 back on Reliant, Horizon, Turismo, and others. And $400 on this fabulous LeBaron convertible. They're all covered by Chrysler's exclusive 5-year, 50,000-mile protection plan. So follow the cavalcade of value to your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Hey, Chicago, this is Mr. B on the Loop Team, FM 98. See that radio? That's what happens when I find out you ain't listening to my show. Got that? You said you'd be listening to some canned joke show. Those stupid DJs. They got, I'm a super jock, I'm a super jock. Yeah, with the animals that make me sick. So I want y'all to be listening to my show. You fat boy.
Jonathan Brandmeier, just having fun. Mornings on the Loop, FM 98.
Listen to me, Mr. B. Keep your ears where they belong or rip your ears out.
If you're going out to shop for carpeting, you're in for a shock.
High prices. Padding and installation. Extra 6 weeks for delivery.
Well, you know Empire's prices start at only $6.95 a yard, including padding and installation. And you know we deliver in 3 to 4 days and give you a free Bissell shampooer with 2 rooms. And if you call now, you get a free T-shirt with any order. So call Empire. I bet you know the number, too.
588-2300 Empire.
We get classier all the time.
Now that will be coming your way tomorrow night. The Texas Rangers come to town, the first of 4. And there's your starting pitchers, 2 left-handers, Rick Honeycutt and Floyd Bannister. So, if you plan to be with us, Lorenzo Gray takes a strike in the count, 0-1. Fouled away, 0-2 the count. Gray hitting .209 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Hit his first major league home run of his career last night. Lorenzo was a happy young man coming in the 3rd inning. Got him looking. Good off-speed curveball. Gray knew it.
Good hook right here from the southpaw, Bruce Hurst.
Well, Lorenzo just could not pull the trigger. You get a close-up of Bruce Hurst. Jerry Dobzinski stands in, hitting .245 with 9 RBIs on the year. Jerry, 4 hits in his last 12 at-bats. But attempt foul. No, he will come back. Boy, there's a pretty sight. Moon over Chicagoland. Clear night. A little cool tonight. Much different than last night. Game time at the temperature at game time last night, 76 degrees. Tonight, 49. 0-1 to Dobzinski. And the curveball in and over. And very quickly the count is 0-2. Well, the Brewers defeated Oakland, got 1 game out of that series. 7-6 the final this afternoon. Seattle over Cleveland 2-1 this afternoon. Ground ball to the hole, base hit left field. So Dobzinski has himself a base hit on an 0-2 pitch. Allenson going to go out and talk to Hurst a little bit as Tony Bernazard comes on.
Well, he'll do that a lot. Muggsy, as his teammates call him, he'll get on you. Right there, Hurst tried to sneak a fastball by him. Missed that over the plate. And Jerry just took advantage of it.
Now, Bernazard flied to center his first time at bat. Tony's 0 for 1. Now, Dobzinski at first. Stapleton will hold. Bernazard, of course, hitting from the right side off of the left-handed pitching of Bruce Hurst. Bernazard against the Red Sox this year is 1 for 6. Little inside. And the count 1-0. Lifetime, Bernazard is a .279 hitter with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs against Boston. Back to Hurst. Little double pump, and they don't double him up. Now, with Hurst double pumping, all they did was give Dobzinski a chance to get in on Hoffman, and they could not double him up.
Ben Hoffman has a gun from the shortstop position, but you're right here. You'll see the double clutch from Hurst. And there comes Jerry with that little block, causing Hoffman to throw high.
Now there's another. Watch the feet of Hoffman. Right there. Have a little block by Dobzinski. Well, that's just the case of what we told you before. Ball beats runner, runner out. Here's Carlton Fisk as they check with Bernazard. On deck is Harold Bain. Fisk walked his first time at bat. There goes Bernazard. And they won't get him. Tony, a late slide. Well, there's a chance of hurting yourself.
Tony gets a good jump right here off Bruce Hurst. Last year, Tony 11 for 11 in stolen bases. This is his first attempt of 1983. See, he had it easily beaten as Remy came over to try to make the tag. Allenson, good quick release on it, but to the shortstop side. That's a 34th stolen base in 40 attempts for the Sox this season.
Now Bernazard at second base. The pitch, a called strike to Fisk. On the inside corner, 0-2. Well, there's a case where you can't worry about anything. If you're ever going to get perturbed at yourself, Ken, you got to get mad at yourself, nobody else. That comebacker hit by Bernazard, automatic double play ball, and Hurst could not get it down to Hoffman in time. So all of a sudden now he's got the go-ahead run at second base with 2 outs. And Fisk sends that to Boggs. That will go to Stapleton, so he'll get out of it anyway. But just a little more touchy. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left after 3, no score.
It's not just a race. It's a game. If they think I'm tired, maybe they'll make their move.
Bring out your best.
Then I'll make mine.
Bring out your best. Budweiser Light. Bring out your best. Budweiser Light.
The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it.
Budweiser Light.
Hi, my name's Jan Gabriel, voice of Santa Fe Speedway and US 30 drag strip. These professional race drivers know the heart of a car's performance is a first-class tune-up. A first-class tune-up by experienced, trained mechanics who take the time to do it right.
That's the way they tune cars at Milex. So, if you think your car needs a tune-up, don't take chances with one of those cheap hurry-up tune-ups. Do what I do for all my car maintenance. Bring it to Milex and get it done right in the first place at competitive prices.
Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you back where you belong.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Carol Channing.
Wow, 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 Sally. Hey, yo. Look at the old girl now, Sally.
Coming June 1st to the Erie Crown Theater for 2 weeks only. Call 791-6000.
Al, for the best in NASL outdoor soccer coverage, have Sports Vision installed in your home today. Don't miss a minute of exciting NASL action with the Chicago Sting. You can tune in to a major sporting event every night of the year. Get exclusive coverage of 112 White Sox games, plus additional American League matchups. And to order Sports Vision, dial on TV at 699-6688 or call your local cable company. And along with Ken Errolson, I'm Don Drysdale. Happy you've joined us tonight. No score through 3 as we go to the 4th. To call it for you, here's Ken.
All right, Donnie, Dwight Evans, the right fielder, to lead it off. It'll be Evans, Rice, and Armas to face the big left-hander Britt Burns, going for his 2nd victory of the season. Overhand curveball from Britt, a little low. Rubber match of this 3-game set. Red Sox won on Monday night 6-4. Last night it was the cannonading of the Sox bats as they pounded out 5 homers in a 12-4 victory. You see Carlton setting up inside, and Burns in and over. Evans 0 for 1, lined out to Rusty Kuntz in center field back in the 1st inning. Now Evans wants a little time, has something in his eye. As you saw, Carlton wanted the fastball inside on the previous call. Let's see if he comes back with it. Yep. He gets it there. Ball and 2 strikes now. Burns picking up his first victory last time out. That was in Kansas City as the Sox won 2 out of 3 at Royal Stadium. Overhand curveball, Lorenzo Gray momentarily juggles it. High throw, but Pashari comes up and down with the tag. Nice play by Tommy. See Lorenzo right there, just a little bit of trouble getting it out, then gets the cross seam, goes high with it, and Pashari coming down to make the tag. So there's 1 out. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Jim Rice. Rice hit a hard one hopper right back to Burns, who knocked it down and threw him out his first at bat. Rice, .299 lifetime hitter against White Sox pitching to go along with 17 home runs. No score, top of the 4th. Allenson moving to the inside. Check that, Fisk moving to the inside. 1-0 to count. Red Sox with a mark of 22-17, just 1 game back of the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays sitting on top of that American League East. 2-0 to Rice. One of the stronger guys in all of baseball. Outside, 3-0. That's a breeze blowing in about 9 miles an hour out of the east, blowing in from right center field. He had the green light, and boy, did he ever have a hack at it. Mercy. Ooh, you could see the expression right there. He'd love to have it back.
You turn a man like that loose, that's like throwing a bull in a china closet right there.
Some kind of hack. 3 balls and a strike to Rice. Carlton's coming right back with the fastball again. This time he wants it on the outside part of the plate. Bad pitch as Rice cannot lay off of it. And the count goes full 3-2. Outfield more or less straight away and deep for Jim. Got him. Good slider on the inside corner. 4th strikeout for Burns.
And this is a new pitch for Brett Burns really this year, and a lot of these hitters are not used to seeing it, and Burns taking advantage of it right there.
Here's Tony Armas, the designated hitter. Tony struck out back in the 2nd. Couple of home runs in the Red Sox 6-4 victory on Monday night off Rich Stotson. Burns losing his cap on that one. Up and away, 1-0. Minnesota leading Baltimore 7-1, bottom of the 5th. At Memorial Stadium, Minnesota hot, Orioles cold. Kansas City leading Texas 1-0, bottom of the 3rd at Royal Stadium. Armas can't get up on it, and it's a ball and a strike.
Boy, I'll tell you, it gets to be a confrontation with a man that can throw hard and a man with a lot of power that swings hard, doesn't it?
Just setting the high target right there. Once again, Armas can't get up on it, and it's 1-2. Armas last year hit 135 against White Sox pitching. He was 5 for 37, but he had 3 home runs. Lifetime, he's a .239 hitter with 7 home runs. Lays off that one in the count, 2-2. Tony, of course, coming over to the Red Sox in the Carney Lansford deal with Oakland, Armas and Newman for Lansford. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Curveball, got it up, and got away with it. Tigers leading Toronto 2-0. Bottom of the 1st inning. Montreal leading San Diego 2-0. Game in early innings. Got him. Just blew him away. 5th strikeout for Burns. 1, 2, 3 inning. His 2nd in a row. His 3rd and 4, and after 3.5, no score.
From the dusty deserts of Baja, through the sound barrier, the Budweiser racing teams always play to win.
Why are more and more new truck buyers selecting Toyota? Value.
Right.
Your Toyota dealer's got the sport truck with diesel engine efficiency. A truck with 3 across seating that has the biggest standard engine in its class and a 1,400-pound payload. Right now, he's got truck incentives from Toyota that could give you even more truck for your buck. Somebody did it right. Value. Your Toyota dealers got it right.
Bottom of the 4th inning. Baines, Luzinski, and Pashuri to face the southpaw Bruce Hurst. No score. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Red Sox. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the White Sox. As Baines takes a strike, Harrell 0 for 1. Hit into a 3-6 double play back in the 1st inning. Red Sox have turned 2. Harrell now hitting at .264 on the season. Breaking ball. Misses. Allenson wanted it. Ball on a strike. Some other American League scorers. Seattle defeated Cleveland 2-1 behind the right-hander Jim Beattie, picking up his 3rd victory of the year. Misses the outside corner. 2-1 the count. The winner in that game was Beattie. The loser, Juan Eichelberger. McManning hit his 1st homer of the season, and also Pat Putnam, a game winner, his 6th of the year with a man aboard. Not a good swing at all by Baines, and it's 2-2. And then Milwaukee 7-6 victory over Oakland. Haas the winner, Underwood the loser. Cooper, Moore, Gross, all homered in that game. Little comebacker. 1 hopper to Hurst. Plenty of time, 1 gone. Kansas City's picked up a run in the 3rd inning. They now lead Texas 2-0 after 3. Darwin on the mound for the Rangers. Bud Black, the left-hander for Kansas City. 1 homer. George Brett, his 11th of the year. And here's Greg Luzinski. Greg drew a walk back in the 2nd. Takes a strike, in and over. Well, of course, if you just tuned in, has homered in 5 consecutive games. That's the most of any White Sox player. And just 1 behind the American League record of 6. Outside, trying to turn it over, and it's 1-1. Major League record is held by Dale Long. He homered in 8 consecutive games. Change, catches the outside corner. And it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Boy, I'll tell you, I saw some of those in that streak, Kenny, and they were not cheapies if you remember Forbes Field. Big yard to go in center field.
Just misses inside.
Or it was short down the right field line, and then it cut out very quickly, and then across. It was a big ballpark, especially in center field, and he hit a few right over that center field wall.
Fastball jams in. Box in fair territory. The long peg as Stapleton moves back with a shift across the bag. 2 gone. I remember the only thing I've never seen Forbes Field before they tore it up. I remember watching on television, they always had the batting cage in center field.
That's how big it was. It was out way out in deep. It wasn't left center. It was out further, more towards just a little to the left side of center field.
I know at Show and Tell, they asked us to bring a picture of a ballpark, and I used to bring that one to Forbes Field.
Yeah, I'll tell him when he comes in. Show and Tell.
Tommy 0 for 1 pops up to Dwight Evans and right back in the 2nd. Fastball. 1-1 to count. And tonight here at Comiskey Park is Police and Fireman Family Night. Members of the Chicago Police Department and Chicago Fire Department and their families being hosted by the White Sox. And as part of the evening demonstrations of special police and fire skills took place inside and outside the ballpark prior to game time. One and 2 the count to Tommy. So it's a big week promotional-wise for all the fans. As the Sox got those big bats booming. Down in the end, 2 and 2. Well, this time last night on the board, there was 16 runs. You're telling me. You call every one of them. 6 homers. There's a shot foul. Boy, he just ripped it. 2-2. Also Friday night is Yago Sangria All-Star Seat Cushion night. Everybody, first 15,000 adults will receive that seat cushion with the All-Star logo on it. Free courtesy of Yago Sangria. That's it hard in the left field. Jim Rice goes back. Wind blowing in. Now Rice has a bead. One hands it. And that'll retire the side. So Hurst. 1-2-3 inning. Nothing across. And after 4, a good pitcher's duel. There it is. Right now, let's go back to the studios and Dick Gonski.
Thanks very much, Hawk. Let's take a look at the scoreboard as we have it so far. First of all, let's go to the American League at Toronto. First inning, Detroit holding a 2-0 lead. Home run for Kirk Gibson, and that home run was inside the park. Petrie on the mound against Gott. 2 good right-handers in that one. Baltimore at home against Minnesota. Those pesky Twins are winning again 7-1 in the 6th inning. At Kansas City, George Brett has homered, his 11th of the year. They lead Texas 1-0 in the 3rd behind Danny Darwin. Later on the coast, the California Angels will be playing the New York Yankees. Shane Rawley against Tommy John in that one. At Oakland this afternoon, Milwaukee a winner, 7-6 homers for Cecil Cooper and Charlie Moore. Wayne Gross for Oakland. The winner Haas, the loser Underwood in that one. Tillman, his 3rd save. Seattle beat Cleveland 2-1 on a 2-run homer by Pat Putnam, his 6th of the year. And Rick Manning had the only run for Cleveland, a home run in that ball game. San Francisco now in the National League. The Cubs first, 1-0 Houston. That's in the 4th. Lefferts against Madden. Now Montreal 2-0 in the 9th inning over San Diego. Hawkins and Steve Rogers, who is 6-1. He could be 7-1 in that one. Now San Francisco beat the Mets 7-6. Rennie Martin is the winner there. Kingman and Clark had home runs. Los Angeles 6, Philadelphia 1. The Phillies are struggling, only 1 run in their last 41 innings. Let's get back now to Comiskey Park. Don Drysdale and Hawk Harrelson.
Thank you, Richard. Top of the 5th inning, no score. Just 3 hits in the ball game. It'll be Stapleton, Boggs, and Nichols to face the left-hander Britt Burns, who's given up just the 1 hit, no walks, and has 5 punch-outs. State has hit in 10 of his last 11 games. Very versatile man for the Red Sox. He can play all over the infield as he just cues that slow curveball away. 29 years old. Outfield plays him straight away. Infield the same. Gray in close, even with the bag at 3rd. Fastball outside. 1-1 to count. There you see the Sox defense for Stapleton. He'll use the whole field to hit him. Fastball misses the outside corner. 2-1. Well, down on the farm last night, the Denver Bears were defeated by Louisville by a score of 3-2. Jim Seaway, the loser. In relief, he is now 3-1. And Chris Nyman hit his 10th homer of the year. That's down low. 3 balls and a strike. Also, young Dave Yobbs, strong left-handed hitter, hit his 4th homer of the season. Glens Falls was defeated 8-6 by Reading. That's a Philly farm team. That's in the right field vein. Now gives just a little bit of ground right at the edge of the warning track. 1 gone. And the 3rd Sox farm club, Hamilton, they're in first place. They were rained out against the Wisconsin Rapids. That's a Minnesota Twin farm club. But overall, the Sox farm clubs own a combined 61-36 record. That's a 1-loss percentage of .628. So some good news down the farm. Here's Wade Boggs. 3rd baseman, has the only Red Sox hit, takes a breaking ball low. Boggs now hitting at .362 in his 2nd year in the American League. Last year hit .349 for Boston. Now the curveball, this one, ooh, close. Misses, and it's 2-0. Fastball, Burns gives a long look in at home plate umpire Mike Riley. And then the count moves to 3-0. Boggs no homers, 15 RBIs. him. First walk issued by Burns.
Well, fans, there's a new White Sox booster club getting started called the Shy Sox Club. They had a luncheon meeting last Monday. It was a big success, hosted by my partner, Ken Harrelson, at the McCormick Inn. The next lunch will be held on Monday, June 13th, with the California Angels. 2 players from each team will be featured. Tickets for the Shy Sox luncheon cost only $12. For information, call McCormick Inn at 791-1900.
Here's Reed Nichols, the center fielder. He popped up to Pashurik back in the second inning. Nichols hitting at 263. Takes a pitch inside. Yes, sir, we had a lot of fun on Monday. And we certainly want to thank all the participants from the Red Sox. Ken Coleman, the voice of the Red Sox on radio. Also, Wade Boggs and Jim Rice, who attended. And for the White Sox, we want to thank Tony La Russa and Carlton Fisk.
Well, we mentioned, Ken, those are fun. And you saw probably one of the most successful organizations in all of baseball in that Bo Sox club up there in Boston. A lot of fun once a month to come out there for all the fans.
Terrific. That catches the inside corner, 1-1. What we're going to try to do with the Shy Sox Club is just let all the members have a look at least 2 players from every team in the American League throughout the course of the season. Of course, it's always nice to be close and listen to their own personal point of views. Also, questions and answers. Breaking ball almost nipped his right kneecap, and it's 2-1.
That made mine start hurting. I thought it had him.
Good-looking young player. Boggs with the lead at first. He is 1 for 2 in stolen bases. Red Sox not a running team. They've only attempted 13 this year. And they have stolen 8. Boggs takes off. There's a shot on the hit and run. Foul as Nichols got way out in front of it. And it's just a hard strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Reed.
Boy, he almost got hit that right over his left shoulder. He got that high slider again. And when you get out in front of those, there's only one place for them to go. Dead left.
You get any kind of good wood on it. And if you want to get sawed off, you might keep it in play for a little nubber down the third base line. The outfield just a couple of steps around to the left for Nichols. Burns. Boggs easily back in. But don't forget, tomorrow night, the Texas Rangers coming to town for the first of a 4-game set before the White Sox take over Boston on Sunday evening for a 3-game set at Fenway Park against these same Red Sox. There you see Boggs. Not a bad lead. Burns with a long look over there. There's a shot in the left field. Base hit. Breaking ball up. Nichols didn't kill it. He just lined it out there to Kittle. So for the first time in this game, the Red Sox have 2 base runners. That's just their second hit. And that'll bring up the catcher, Gary Allenson, out of Arizona State University. Totals on the board, the same for both clubs, 0-2-0. Manager Tony La Russa checking the action. Allenson calls time as Burns didn't see it. Allenson has hit White Sox pitching hard. Last year, a .280 hitter with a couple of home runs. Lifetime, he has 6 of his career home runs against White Sox pitching. Fastball up high.
Well, it appears that Dick Hauser, the skipper of the Kansas City Royals, is doing just what he told us he would do, Ken. He wasn't satisfied with the pitching he was getting from some of the veterans, and he's going to some of the youngsters.
Runners don't lead. Breaking ball catches the inside corner. What did he do?
Well, he brought Black in.
Yep.
He's going tonight.
Also, he said he's going to start pitching Keith Creel more.
Well, they've got some good young arms. He has not been happy with some of the veteran performances.
Ball and strike. Fake. There's popped up to left field. Short left as Kittle comes in. Ronnie loses his cap. Now squeezes it. Out number 2. Well, I'll tell you, that 3-game set, with the exception of the Saturday game, when they were running a little bit, that's the worst in many years I have seen a Kansas City club look. They look lethargic out there. And especially left-hander Larry Gurr. He looked like he didn't even want to pitch.
Well, he didn't throw well. Blue threw well to a couple hitters. Outside of that, got himself in trouble. Tonight, Black's going, and he's leading 2-0 after 4 against Darwin and the Texas Rangers.
Here's Glenn Hoffman, the shortstop. Takes down low. Hoffman struck out on a good slider back in the 3rd inning. Outfield spread out straight away for Glenn. There you look at the runners. Boggs at second, Nichols at first. Right on by him. Had no chance on that one. 1-1 to count.
I don't think Carlton saw the runner at first base, Reed Nichols. He went out there about 25, 30 feet, almost got himself out in no man's land for sure. He tried to sneak in behind.
Reed Nichols has good speed. Extra base hit here, and he'll probably score. He stole over 60 bases about 4 years ago. There's a little blooper, foul. One of the fans, a very happy fan with that souvenir. And the count right now to Hoffman, a ball and 2 strikes. Boy, the way Glenn Hoffman is going about his business up there at the plate, he's got the slow bat working for him. He got himself locked up so bad in the hips, he just can't do anything but push it. Off-speed pitch would be about the only thing he could do any damage on. Here comes Fisk sitting up inside. And the count moves to 2-2.
I were watching him the other day in batting practice, Ken. You were pointing that out. And sitting here doing your book, sometimes you don't really watch certain things like that, but all of a sudden you do pick up something like that, and there's no question about it.
Fastball, no chance. That'll do it. So Burns pitches out of a slight jam here in the top of the 5th. Nothing across. There was a hit, no errors, 2 men left, and after 4.5, no score.
This is Ara Parsegian speaking for a great team, your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. This luxurious Reliant wagon and this sporty LeBaron are just 2 of the outstanding values in their all-star front-wheel drive lineup. See these and the other official cars of the 1983 White Sox in the All-Star game at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer soon.
In the northern suburbs, visit Central Motors in Evanston, and south of Chicago, stop by Royal Chrysler Plymouth in Midlothian.
If you have a long list of lawn and garden needs, you'll appreciate the wide selection available at True Value hardware stores. Get Nelson's dial-arranged sprinkler and choose from 20 watering patterns. This True Value 60-foot nylon reinforced hose gets water to where you need it. You can promote healthier, greener grass with True Test lawn food. And a large capacity True Value spreader lets you apply fertilizer quickly and evenly. Get it at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
The winds are changing in Chicago radio. The new WMET. Rock Radio 95.5. Flowing commercial-free for 6 weeks. Not one commercial for 6 solid weeks. Less talk and the best new rock. The new commercial-free WMET. It'll blow you away.
As they get ready to go into the bottom of the 5th, it'll be Kittle, Kuntz, and Lorenzo Gray to face the left-hander Bruce Hurst in a scoreless tie. Ronnie had a single his first at bat, takes a curveball in and over. Right big home run last night. I'm talking about distance. Fastball up high. He hit just a towering drive that caught the edge of the roof. 3-run shot in the first inning. Oh, he took it something off the breaking ball. Nice pitch by Hurst, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, that ball's only a couple of feet, I think, from going on the roof, Kenny. Maybe not even that, now that I look at that facing out there.
Got him. Off-speed pitch. So for Hurst, his second strikeout, and there's one gone.
Boy, here is an excellent motion on an off-speed curveball by Hurst. And in a good location, you can see the head fly out, shoulder come out. But it doesn't make any difference. You get a big power hitter, whoever it is, they get out like that, they're going to have a little trouble. That was just a good pitch.
Rusty Kuntz steps in. Rusty hit into a 5-3 double play his first at bat. Fastball up high. In that Royal Stadium, bottom of the 5th. Kansas City still leading Texas 2-0. Later on, New York will be at California as the count moves to 2-0 to Kuntz. Foul tip, got a piece of Mike Riley, and it's 2-1.
Now, Sports Vision, the exclusive sports pay television service, is now available through Rockford Cablevision, serving the communities of Rockford and Loves Park. Tune into a major sporting event every night of the year, plus a fantastic doubleheader most Saturdays and Sundays. To order Sports Vision, call Rockford Cablevision, 815-987-4510.
Good fastball, straightens him up, catches the inside part of the plate, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Up high, and Kuntz takes him to the wall. Sox have won 3 out of their last 5 and hit 14 home runs in the last 5 games. That's as many as they hit in the first 33. There's a shot, base hit into short left center field. Here comes Reed Nichols. He'll pick it up and hold Kuntz to the single.
Rusty just got a pitch down Broadway. You know, watching the outfield grass here, I forgot to ask Roger Bossert that, and I saw him in the elevator today, but it appears the outfield at Comiskey Park right now, the infield and outfield and the field look in great condition. But just watching the reaction of the ball on that lush green grass, it looks a little slow.
It is a little slow. Here's Lorenzo Gray, struck out. His first time up, that was in the 3rd inning. Well, we played some golf today over at Butler, and those greens weren't slow. Hurst with a decent move over there. Bob Montgomery, one of the voices of the Red Sox on television, Jim Rice and myself went out. I think the low score in the threesome was 92.
Well, and all the big boys doing that threesome. Long knockers.
There were some long knockers. Trouble is, we had to hit 2 and 3 off the tee. We couldn't find them. Fastball. There's Gray. Renzo dives that over that plate. As long as he does that with that kind of pronounced, exaggerated move, he's going to have trouble, especially from the left-hander with that fastball inside corner. 0-1 to count. Once again, Hurst over to first base. But I'll tell you, that Rice is something. There you see the line on Bruce Hurst. He went pretty good today. He's out there about 265, 270. Rice gets up and hits it over 100 yards by me.
Airmailed, yeah.
Foul away. 0-2 the count. Oh. Outfield, more or less straight away for Gray. Once again, Hurst trying to keep Kuntz close. Rusty is 1 for 1 thus far in 83 in stolen bases. Sox with that excellent mark of 34 steals and only been thrown out 6 times. One out right back to her. Should be 2. Hoffman's got a gun. Yes, sir. That's the 3rd double play of the evening turn by the Red Sox. They now have 42, and after 5, it's still a good one. 0-0.
Some things speak for themselves.
At Schaumburg Toyota, we have a tradition of giving our lowest prices on every brand new Toyota we sell. A tradition of top dollar in trade on any new Cressida, Corolla, Celica, Supra, Starlet, or Tercel. A tradition that made Schaumburg Toyota the Midwest's largest volume Toyota dealer. So get the traditionally great savings that convert more new car customers to Schaumburg Toyota. We're ready to make a believer out of you. That's 875 Gulf Road in Schaumburg. Schaumburg Toyota.
You know what's new? Diet Coke. And you're going to drink it just for the taste of it.
Introducing Diet Coke. You're going to drink it just for the taste of it. Living good with Diet Coke. This is the one from Coca-Cola. Recall the taste with just 1 calorie. Just for the taste of it.
Just for the taste of it.
Diet Coke.
Now a reminder that every Tuesday night Sox home game is True Value Sox baseball card night. The first 15,000 fans to attend every Tuesday night game will receive 2 free Sox player cards. 2 different cards every game, courtesy of True Value hardware stores. So come on out every Tuesday, and you can collect the entire set. The next True Value card night will be Tuesday, the 14th of June, against the California Angels.
Jerry Remy to lead off the top of the 6th inning. A couple of young left-handers out there, and they have so far cranked up a good one. 0-2-0 for the Boston Red Sox, 0-3-0 for our White Sox. Remy tries to bunt. It'll be a strike. Jerry is 0 for 2. He's bounced out 4 to 3, and he's flied to left.
How many times have you seen it, Kenny? You get a wild and woolly one like last night, everything happens, and the next time you go out there, the very next day, you'll see a 1-0, 2-1 ball game.
Many times, especially with the turnaround of the weather the way it was, which was hard to believe. No balls and a strike. Down low. I'll tell you, I went out to get the paper this morning. I usually go out in, my Bermudas and my T-shirt and my slippers. I opened that garage door, and I'm telling you, I didn't know what in the devil was going on. My fanny off. Ball and a strike. Ray and Pashurican close as that pitch misses low and away. 2-1. Carlton wants the fastball. There it is. A line shot, base hit. Right over the head of Tony Bernazard. Kuntz quickly over. Remy with good quick speed is held to the single.
Boy, there's a break as far as the Sox are concerned, and that ball was hit in such a low trajectory. That ball's hit up in the air a little bit. As far as Kuntz was playing over in left center field and Baines not covering that alley, that ball's going to roll all the way to the 401-foot marker. You can see there's nobody there, but it's hit on that low trajectory. And again, we've talked about that slow grass, and that enabled Kuntz to get over there.
Here's the right fielder, Dwight Evans. Evans is lined to center field, and he's bounced out 5 to 3. Remy, 3 for 3 this year in stolen bases. Curveball hit right side, should be 2. Bernazard, Dibzinski. It is 4-6-3 double play. That's the 41st of the year for the White Sox.
I don't know whether a sign was missed right here or not. Devon's just trying to hold back on it and go to that opposite side. I doubt it. Remy was not really running at all, and they just double him up. So Evans trying to go the other way. and hitting a nice little tailor-made ground ball to Tony Bernazar.
Well, Burns took something off the breaking ball right there, and White just couldn't stay back. Got out in front, and then just pushed the ball for the perfect double play. So 2 gone. And here's Jim Rice. Jim has bounced back to Burns and struck out. It's a fastball outside. That'll be fouled out of play as Baines gives chase 2 rows back. 0-1 to James Edward Rice out of Anderson, South Carolina. They call him the Boston Strong Boy. Outfield deep, spread out, straight away. And Carlton moves to the inside. Oh, it's hit hard in the right center field. Baines goes back, has the bead, reaches up, and right near the warning track hauls it down. Nothing across for the Sox. There was a hit, no errors, nobody left. 0-0 after 5.5. Lauren Brown for your Chicagoland Chrysler Plymouth dealers. With us, the folks from Walton on Dempster, the Saget family. Father Steve, you've been in the business a long time.
Yes, I have, since 1946.
And your son John and his brother carrying on the family tradition.
Yes, sir. We expect to be there another 50 years carrying that tradition on.
And the service manager, Bud Green.
And we pride ourselves on good service.
So stop in and see the Saget family. Good folks. Walton on Dempster. Walton on Dempster. You can't miss our sign in Skokie.
I've been waiting here by the phone, wondering if you're ever going to call. You know you need new carpeting, and you must know where to get the best value. Empire's prices start at $6.95 a yard, installed with padding, delivery in 3 to 4 days, credit available with no installment payments for 60 days, free Bissell shampoo with 2 rooms, even a free T-shirt with any order. So how much longer am I going to have to wait?
588-2300 Empire.
Ah, maybe this is you. Empire.
Sox best, baseball's best. Sox best, baseball's best.
There's nothing better than one of these all-star seat cushions to keep us guys in the bullpen happy. And everyone 21 and over gets one free, courtesy of Iago Sangria, when they come out to Comiskey Park Friday, May 27th, when we play Texas.
Jim, let me have one of those cushions, will you?
Here, sit on it.
Sox best, baseball's best.
Sponsored by Iago. Our next televised game tomorrow night, right here from Comiskey Park, when the Texas Rangers with new manager Doug Rader come into town. Rangers, for the most part, have had themselves just an outstanding start. First part of this week, they were on top in the American League West. They are now a game and a half back in 3rd place. But right here, a good pitcher's duel. Hurst and Britt Burns as Jerry Dibzinski leads off the bottom of the 6th. Jerry has one of the 3 Sox hits. That was the single between short and 3rd. Back in the 3rd inning. High to left field. Rice is there. 1 out.
Well, you've got to be impressed with the way both of these young left-handers are throwing tonight. Burns, and it could be a little bit of that cool air kicking him in the rear end, but he is throwing well tonight, as good as we've seen him since his first time out, Ken.
Here's Tony Bernazar. Turns it over, misses outside. Well, Burns has the 3 pitches going for him tonight, and Hurst has the 4. Although Burns has what you would call better stuff than Hurst. That one big equalizer being an outstanding straight change that Hurst has used. There's a shot. Just foul. Vic Voltaggio, the umpire's 3rd. Boy, that was close.
All right, we'll take another peek at it. Voltaggio right on the line. Bernazard right there. As you see Voltaggio, that ball just foul. He made the call.
Makes you wonder a little bit on how close that thing hit to the foul line, if in fact it did not go over the bag in fair territory. That's the big thing. If it goes over the bag in fair territory, any part of it, it's fair, regardless of where it hits on that other side. 2 balls and a strike to Tony. Tony 0 for 2 tonight. He's flied to center, hit into a force play, and he picked up his first stolen base of the year in the 3rd inning. 0-3-0. The totals for both teams. That's in right center field, Dwight Evans. Moses over, calls off Reed Nichols. 2 gone.
You know, a lot of times an umpire at first or third, when a ball comes down like that, number one, they want to get out of the way. And at times they'll be moving a little bit, and they will position themselves with their left foot or right foot on the line, depending on whether they're at first base or third base. And as that ball is hooking across the bag, they're moving away from the play. And it can be a tough call for an umpire to make down there.
Carlton Fisk. Change up. Pops up. Hurst. Now Boggs. Right almost in the middle of the mound, and Hurst. A 1-2-3 inning. After 6 totals on the board, same for both clubs. No runs, 3 hits, no errors.
Your next car has to last a long time. You've got to make the right choice. Thousands of dollars are at stake.
Right.
The experts say the right choice is at your Toyota dealer. Celica is a winner. Exceptional quality. Corolla, well-built, reliable, economical. Cressida, smooth and sure. A quality car throughout. Toyota 4-wheel drive, a bargain.
Right.
The right choice at your Toyota dealers now. Your Toyota dealers got it right.
The Suitery knows man does not live by suits alone. So relax with Suitery casual tops in soft colors and luxurious textures at irresistible prices. Colorful, carefree slacks in comfortable summer blends at irresistible prices. And designer jackets that take you through wind and rain at irresistible prices. Because man does not live by suits alone. Go casual at the Suitery, where your taste level is more affordable than ever. For the Suitery near you, dial S-U-I-T-E-R-Y, Suitery.
To increase your painting ability, rely on the ability of painting accessories from True Value hardware stores. You can depend on Werner aluminum ladders for steady support. Fill in holes and cracks with GE silicone caulk. Cover large areas quickly and thoroughly with this Wagner paint sprayer. Then give trim a smooth finish with True Test Orel brushes. And to paint with fewer drips, get this Easy Painter pad from participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Back at Comiskey Park, top of the 7th. And with Don Drysdale, this is Ken Harrelson as Britt Burns and Bruce Hurst working on 3 hit shutouts. 3 hits, all singles for the Red Sox. 3 hits, all singles for the White Sox. It'll be Armas, State, Stapleton, and Boggs in the color for you. Here's Don.
All right, Kenny. Tony Armas has gone down swinging twice tonight. He's 0 for 2. A good pitcher still between Burns and Hurst. Gray deep at third and guarding the line. The outfield all deep. Now Burns about ready to go to work. As you can read the signs of Carlton Fisk, he wants the fastball. And there's the strike, 0-1 the count. As hard as Burns is, you've got to start that trigger a little early. Not the time you commit yourself and realize that that ball's out of the strike zone. Sometimes it can be a little hard to hold up. Can do it. Can do it. Missing with that slider inside. 1-2 the count. Down low, the count 2-2.
Buckle Carlton's knees right there. He thought that was a good strike with the slider. Burns, you see, with 91 pitches. No score, top of the 7th. Got him for the 3rd time in a row. Strikeout number 6 for Burns. This is right down Michigan Avenue. Right there. Here's Stapleton 0 for 2. Stapleton has struck out, and he's flying to right. See Dave at that 234 mark. Starting tonight at 237. And the curveball in and over. 0-1 to count. Foul right side very quickly, 0-2. On deck, Wade Boggs. Now balls and 2 strikes to Stapleton. Missing inside. Makes it so tough when you're standing up there. Now you've got a man that can throw hard going against you. Slider is fouled. Let's say that he's got a strike or 2 away from you, and all of a sudden you want to go out there and look for that pitch out over the plate, and he comes back inside with an inside heater. Boy, you can have a lot of problems. Well, if he does that, you're going to grab some bench. The only thing you can hope for when you get a guy like Burns, the way he's throwing tonight, he just makes a mistake and that you take advantage of it.
Down the line, foul. Count remains 1-2.
You cannot cover the plate off a guy like Burns tonight. You have got to hope for the mistake, or you got to pick your spot, your zone, whether it be in or out. And if it's out, you got to back off a little bit and take the inside strike away from him, or vice versa. If you want the inside pitch, you got to move up just a shade. Everybody in this league knows that Carlton Fisk likes to work hitters inside.
Now the count goes even at 2-2. Detroit on top of Toronto 3-0 in the top of the 4th up in Canada. And the count goes full 3-2. Full count to Stapleton, 1 out. Top of the 7th, no score. Deep to left field. If it's fair, it's gone, but it is hooking foul. Now Burns came with that inside slider, and Stapleton hit it hard but hooked it foul.
Stapleton has some punch. And he's the type hitter, seems like, that he gets that big hit for you, or he'll hit the home run at the wrong time.
So the count remains full 3-2. Couple of hops to Dubzinski. Hit for short, and there's 2 gone. So with 2 outs, that'll bring on Wade Boggs, who's 1 for 1 tonight. He singled to left field his first time at bat in the 2nd inning, and he walked in the 5th. Minnesota leading Baltimore in the top of the 8th, 7-3. Kansas City 2-0 over Texas, and the top of the 7th. Here's Boggs. And Burns ready to go to work. There's a strike, and the count is 0-1.
You'll see Boggs, as we just had the close-up of him right there. He'll drop that little finger of the right hand right over the knob of the bat. Very seldom you see a guy hit for as high an average as he does that'll do that. Most of your high average hitters are not down over the end of the bat. Most of your home run, your big swingers will do that a little bit. Boggs using that short bat.
See, have that handle, they have that knob build up a little bit. I was just looking to see if he had a couple of rolls.
The hitters are doing that now.
Yeah.
Well, they can make the bat like that for you. They can give you the bigger knob. Kittle's been using one.
Left field, Kittle. Right there. And that is out number 3. The Red Sox are gone in the 7th. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left to the bottom of the 7th. No score.
Ara Parsegian speaking for your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers and their teammates, the Chicago White Sox. This Town and Country convertible is the official car of the Sox and the All-Star baseball game. It's a standout with front-wheel drive, glove leather interior, and looks that put it in a league by itself. See this Woody convertible and the whole Chrysler Plymouth lineup at your dealer soon.
In the western suburbs, visit Ogden Chrysler Plymouth in Downers Grove, and in the northern suburbs, stop by Highland Park Automobile Sales.
This Bud's for everyone who takes on the heavy loads.
This Bud's for you. For all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do. This Bud's for you.
The Edge. In name brand sporting goods, the Sport Mart Edge. With the biggest selection and professional advice, the Edge. With low prices every day, Sport Mart gives you the Edge. Save on the new Reebok training shoe collection at Sport Mart. Styles available for the entire family. For basketball, Huffy Pro Shot Fiberglass Backboard and Gold, model 8700. NBA endorsed, requires no painting or maintenance, $59.94. For sports, it's Sport Mart.
Fans, for the best in baseball coverage, have Sports Vision installed in your home today. Exclusive coverage of 112 White Sox games over the course of the season, plus additional games involving top teams in the American League. To order Sports Vision, just call On TV at 699-6688 or call your local cable company.
Harold Baines to lead it off in the bottom of the 7th as the Sox fans want to see something happen here. Baines, Lozinski, and Pashore. 0-1 the count to Harold, who has hit into a double play and bounced back to the pitcher. Good curveball. 0-2 the count. I tell you, when Hurst is right, he can give a left-hander a few problems.
Allenson has really worked him well tonight, as Fisk has worked Burns well. Looper foul. That's one of the prettiest things in baseball to me. I love to see, for an example, defensive positioning. I guess that's really my thing I would look for the most. And then the second thing is seeing that catcher work a pitcher nicely.
Just got a piece of it.
That tandem, when you just get the same thought process with the same train, and the catcher will get a pitcher in a good rhythm, and most importantly, he'll keep him there.
Count remains 0-2. Oh, boy, that can help a pitcher out so much when you get a catcher that's the two of you thinking in sync. And 85 pitches for Hurst. Greg Lozinski on deck. Just outside. 1-2 the count. That is so much easier on your infield and your outfield. Left side, Boggs right there. One away. And here's the ball. Lozinski tonight has walked and bounced to third. But the whole key to that whole thing, Ken, is the pitcher's got to have some kind of control. Can't be just a thrower out there and having catch and move all over.
But I think in so many cases that you've seen over 23, 24 years, that what happens a lot of times, the guy will be struggling out there with the control. All of a sudden, the catcher is trying to put him in that routine. He'll get him there, and all of a sudden the control comes back into form a little bit. Oh, my goodness.
Came up. Oh, the Bull would love to have that one back. Look out, you got everybody wanting it. And it's Boggs for the catch.
Well, there's your Major League pop-up right up the elevator shaft. I'd like to have seen where that one would have come down if he'd have got it just about maybe an eighth of an inch more on that bat. For sure, the American League record of 6 consecutive homer games would have been tied.
Here's Tom Pashorek. Outside, 1-0 the count. Pashorek is flying to right, flying to left. Tommy's 0 for 2 with Ron Kittle on deck. Out of play, 1-1 the count. Two balls and a strike. Well, if you're a pitcher, being Burns or Hurst right here, the last 3 innings, Burns has already gone by 1. Hurst is 2 outs into his first of the 3rd. You've really got to be thinking every time you draw it back.
Yes, sir.
Every time.
Especially when you get somebody up there that can jerk you. At this point, you've had good success and had a couple of looks at you, this being their 3rd time around. You make a mistake, chances are you're going to get hurt. That's when you got to start thinking of beat me the other way.
Got him. Good off-speed curveball. But Pashorek caught looking. The White Sox are gone 1-2-3. There's no score after 7. Let's go back to the studio and Dick Gonski.
All right, Don, thanks very much. In Houston tonight, the Cubs trying to make it 2 in a row against the Astros. They sent rookie left-hander Craig Lefferts to the mound. And the Cubs are hoping that Lefferts and newcomer Dick Ruthven will shore up that starting rotation. Right now, Cubs are trailing the Astros 1-0 in the 7th. Here's the only run of the game. Louis Pujols grounds out to second base, scoring Ray Knight, who walked and was sacrificed to second and then advanced on a wild pitch. Now, in women's tennis action at the French Open, Martina Navratilova continued to roll with a 6-1, 6-1 win over Katrina Skranska. Chris Everett Lloyd beat Brazil's Pat Medrado 6-1 and 6-2. Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley beat Camille Benjamin 6-3, 6-4. Andrea Jaeger over Kim Steinmetz 6-love, 6-1. And before we go back to Don and Ken, let's welcome some new establishments to our Sports Vision family.
We go to the top of the 8th. The Red Sox will go to the bottom 3 in the order, and Nichols, Allenson, and Hoffman. And Nichols is 1 for 2. He has popped at first. He singled his last time at bat in the 5th. Infield, outfield, straight away. A little 8-footer right there. Nichols says, I'm not giving that to you, Carlton. I'll give it to the home plate umpire. Mike Riley takes a look at it, and he keeps it in play. Just looking at that white cap on top of the bat of Nichols. I just wondered, Ken, if he's taken a saw, if he's tipped it a little. I haven't seen that bat without it being black or brown or blue or whatever it is all over. There's a strike, 2-1 to count.
Well, we've seen a lot of the bats that have been cupped out with some off-color paint in there, but that one looks like it's been sawed a little bit. Of course, they've got one of the best in the business at manipulating bats up there in Boston. Vinny Orlando, the clubhouse man. You can saw it, cork it, anything you want.
Pops him up. Just coming back, a ways to go, and it's just on the net.
know he's corked enough for me.
You doggone hitters cheating and things like that. Boy, it's tough enough to make a living without you doing that to poor old pitcher.
You don't mind if I leave the booth. I don't want any lightning to strike him here.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count.
I'd like to have known the company that you got your slippery elm from. Had a few shares of stock in it. Well, you needed a landscaper.
There's a base hit over the glove and just off the glove of Dzinski as Nichols makes a big turn. Kittle gets it in. Boy, Jerry just about timed that right.
Well, he gave it a great effort right there. Gave it a great effort. Can't do any more than Jerry tried on this line shot. Nichols, as we mentioned, excuse me, very underrated ball player. Little man can do some damage, and you see Jerry timing it right. Going up just as high as his little legs, his little bow legs to take him up there. And just got a piece of it. Good effort.
Now that'll bring on Gary Allenson. And we'll see how manager Ralph Houck wants to play it as right-hander Dennis Lamb gets up to throw in the bullpen.
Allenson is one of the better bunters on this Red Sox club.
Takes low. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Well, when you're in a position like this, here's where you've got to make him bunt. And the thing is, when you're in a position like this, too, you've got to give those infielders a chance. Gray at third, Pashorek at first, if they possibly can, to get in on top of it.
Houck might just turn around right here and give him 1 shot.
And it's down low. He might give him a shot now.
He does that a lot. And has done it throughout his career. Houck get those infielders coming in like Pashorek and Gray. All of a sudden the count goes to 1-0. And right here now it's 2-0. Now Eddie Oates wants to make sure.
And now here's what I like to see. There's a man that's been in the game for years. There's a man that's been in the game for years. Talking about Yost and Houck. If Ralph is going to put a little run and hit on right here with Allenson, Yost can come down and say, look, now don't take the big swing. You don't have to hit it out of the ballpark. We want you to make contact. But they will gamble that they won't make a line drive. First base side, a good bunt. As Pashorek makes a tag going by, so they didn't even bother about that. They'll try to move the man in scoring position. They do just like that. As Nichols moves to second base, Allenson is out, 3 unassisted, if you might be scoring with us. And here's Glenn Hoffman. Now good speed at second base in Nichols. Loop to center, and right there is Kuntz. And is out number 2.
I've seen Houck in the past sacrifice a guy 2 seconds with 1 out, according to who was on the mound.
Oh, yes, I have too.
Seen him do that a few times, especially when he was the Tigers.
Here's Jerry Remy. Remy has bounced his second fly to left. He singled his last time at bat. He's 1 for 3. That is Reed Nichols at second base. Good speed. The outfield shallow for Remy. With Evans on deck. There's a slider. 0-1. Remy's going to beat me. He's got to beat me on that pitch if I'm Britt Burns. I can't make a mistake to this little man.
If he gets a left-hander out there going one way with him, he can be tough. He can be a tough out up there. I saw that Fanny flying on that breaking pitch.
Dzinski in there. That will do it for the Red Sox. and hauled it down. The Red Sox are gone to the bottom of the 8th, no score.
Right now could be the best time to make your best deal on an 83 Toyota truck. Your Toyota dealer's got 14 tough models. Every one is the same price as the 82s, except diesel, its price went down. The Toyota Standard truck, the lowest priced Toyota truck, has the same powerful gas engine, 3 across seating, same big payload as Toyota's other 2 buys. Don't let your Toyota truck get away. Make your deal now. Your Toyota dealers got it right.
Tudor, the fortress of time to fight the sea. Tudor Submariner Oyster Date. Powerful, pressure-proof. And the Tudor Submariner Oyster. The mid-size Tudor Submariner Oyster Date. Performance watchmates to armor your time against the elements. Tudor.
Available at Henry K. Jewelers, 547 North Michigan Avenue in the 3rd level, Water Tower Place.
Somewhere in Lake Michigan, there's a fish worth $1 million. His name is Mandarin. That's Mandarin. If you catch him between May 13th and 30th, you'll win $1 million. Just make a $10 contribution to Big Brothers and Big Sisters, then reel in Mandarin, and you'll reel in $1 million. See your newspaper's package goods store for details. Nice try.
That is the story from Comiskey Park tonight. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, Ron Kittle will lead it off, followed by Rusty Kuntz and then Lorenzo Gray. Good change by Hurst. 0-1 the count. Off the end of the bat, Boggs to Stapleton. Boy, there's a case of what we were talking about just a while ago. You've just got to be thinking much more so now on every pitch and in the early innings of the ball game. And you could see what Hurst was going to be doing right there. If Kittle was going to do anything, he was going to supply his own power to do it. Bob Stanley throwing in the bullpen for the Red Sox. There you see the big right-hander.
Motion very reminiscent of another big right-hander.
Rusty Kuntz takes a strike. There's the All-Star patch, the 50th anniversary of the All-Star game on the sleeve of Harold Baines.
Well, as you can see by Hurst's motion, sometimes he has a tendency to rush a little bit. He'll get out in front, and then he can't catch up with the arm. But tonight he has had a good rhythm, and he has stayed back. He hasn't hung many breaking balls whatsoever.
2 balls and a strike to Kuntz, who has hit into a double play, and he singled his last time at bat. He's 1 for 2.
Starts his motion quite reminiscent of the way Al Hrabosky starts his.
Foul back, 2-2 the count. If you're looking to the Boston ninth, they will go to their heavy artillery. Evans, Rice, and Armas. Got him looking. There's that fastball that'll come back on that right-hander when you go diving out over the plate.
Watch the fastball tail back right here. Allison sitting up inside. Boy, he just threaded the needle with it. The left-handed game.
Yes, it is. It can be. There's no question about that. As Lorenzo Gray stands in, loop foul right side. In case Lorenzo with that swing, look to left, swing to center, and hit to right. That's exactly what happened right there.
I don't think Lorenzo's going to get any more high changes from the Red Sox staff.
Try and work Gray inside, but Gray dives out over that plate. I'm trying to think of how many hitters I've seen that have approached the ball the way Lorenzo approaches that ball. Not many. Good play. Hello. And that will do it for the White Sox in the 8th. Through 8, no score.
Born of tradition, nurtured by pride. Budweiser Light, with a clean, distinctive taste. A light beer worthy of the king of beers.
Bring out your best. Bring out your best.
The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like
it. If you have a long list of lawn and garden needs, you'll appreciate the wide selection available at True Value hardware stores. To speed up yard work, use a Paramount electric edger to trim around your lawn. Or get a weed eater trimmer to reach the weeds and grass your mower misses. This Black & Decker trimmer has double-edged blades to clip hedges and shrubs. And tougher jobs like cutting tree branches are easier with the Remington electric chainsaw from participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
It's Pronto. Pronto is a sip of wine, the special cuisine of northern Italy. It's just like being in Italy. Scampi della casa, Vil Pronto, Paglie e Fieno. Pronto, the ristorante Italians remember when they're back in Italy.
Pronto, 200 East Chestnut Street in Chicago. Sports Vision viewers, ask for your 25% off discount through July 31st at Pronto.
Now, that is the story through 8. But we have a pitching change for the Sox here in the top of the 9th, Kenny.
Right-hander Dennis Lamp, making his 10th appearance of the season, his 5th in relief. 3-3 record, 4.73 ERA. Dennis has worked in 40 innings. He's given up 42 hits, 25 runs, 21 earned runs, walked 16, struck out 15, and he's thrown 3 long ones. So an outstanding performance by the big left-hander Britt Burns tonight. Britt going 8 innings, scoreless ball, just 4 hits, walked but 1 Red Sox hitter, and had 6 strikeouts.
Now Dennis Lamp comes on, and he too, as if Burns would have been in there, will face the heavy artillery in Evans, Rice, and Armas. Evans 0 for 3 tonight, Rice 0 for 3 tonight, and Armas has got to be happy to see Burns gone, as he has struck out all 3 times tonight. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the White Sox. It's the top of the 9th. One ball and no strikes to Evans. There's a strike and the count 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. Rice on deck. The right field, and that's a base hit. Now Baines over in a hurry. Now Evans with his first base hit of the evening. Boy, there's a case where it looked like Dwight had a hinge on that bat. He took a big swing, and the barrel of it just laid back, and all of a sudden shot it out to right. No action. Now somebody will get up in that Sox bullpen. Oh, a chilly evening. And Jim Rice, the hitter, with Dwight Evans at first base. And left-hander Kevin Hickey gets up and starts to throw. Kevin, as we've commented before, has not been in a ball game since May 7th. High chopper. Gray will get the lead man at second. And they call him safe. Now they call him out. Evans did not watch the umpire. And indeed, he was safe.
Tony's thinking one all the way. You're not going to get Jim Rice. High chopper right here. He has good speed down the line. And watch Bernazard. He's just going to play the first baseman right here. Try to get one sure as he come across. His foot's off the bag. Dwight Evans thinking only one thing, trying to break it up. And Dwight should have known on that particular play right there that they're not going to turn it over. So indeed, Tony saw the umpire's call. Evans, one of the most aggressive base runners and one of the best at taking out infielders. You see him go right there, right after Tony, but still had his foot on the bag. And he thought he was forced.
Now, Tony La Russa going out, and he's going to say he's going to talk about going out of the baseline, but he did not go out of the baseline.
No, he still had the bag with his foot.
That's exactly right. You can go out as far as your body and arms will take you. And he was certainly within his right. You could see that on the instant replay. Look at it again.
If he cannot get any part of the bag with that foot since he's going out that way.
See, the foot is hit the bag.
Then it would have been, and the umpire could have called interference. But no possible chance right there.
Nope, and Tony has heard the discussion of the two umpires, but he hit the bag with his foot. If you're 5'8", you're not going to get out that far, but if you're 6'3" or so, you're going to get out a little bit further. Boy, the Sox get a break right there. Here's Tony Armas. Armas has struck out 3 times tonight. Takes a strike. Right there, the last time at bat he struck out. The last time at bat before that he struck out, and the last time at bat before that he struck out. All against Brett Burns. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lorenzo Gray just 1 step off the line at third. Paciorek holding Rice at first. Center field, playable to Rusty Kuntz. Started back now, has to come in to make the catch. Now there's 2 gone. Rice remaining at first. Here's Dave Stapleton, who tonight has struck out, fly to right, and bounced to short. If you're looking to the White Sox tonight, they have Dubzinski, Bernazard, and Fisk, the 3 scheduled hitters. Wade Boggs on deck. Stapleton takes a strike, and the count is 0-1. Want to keep Rice as close as they can at first. 2 outs. 1 strike to Stapleton. And the corner. 0-2.
This is the guy you got to get right here. You don't want anybody in scoring position with that left-hander coming up next. I don't care who's on the mound.
And, of course, that left-hander is Wade Boggs. Right side and foul. Count remains 0-2. Merrill Baines going over and flipping the ball to a youngster down that right field line. Bouncer foul over in the Sox dugout. Eddie Yost will make the play. 0-2 the count. There's 2 outs, no score, top of the ninth. Well, we've seen a dandy tonight. The Red Sox and the White Sox in the final game of the series. Backhanded nicely by Fisk, and the count 1-2. Well, regardless if you were Brett Burns out there or Dennis Lamp, who has replaced him here in the ninth, you've got to be thinking the same thing. Every pitch, extra thought goes into. You can't afford to make a mistake. No score. The 1-2 pitch to Stapleton. Up the middle, Bernazar. And they don't get anybody. And here comes Wade Boggs.
Pretty good pitch right there from Lamp Sinker, going down and away over the outer half of the plate. Beat right back through the middle there. You see Tony coming up as the ball jumps up on him, hits him in the little finger of that glove, and he just can't make a play.
Well, they give Stapleton a base hit, and here's Boggs. Hickey's been throwing in the bullpen, and Barojas just got up. Missing outside of Boggs with Nichols on deck. Boggs is singled, walked, and he's flying to left. Now Rice at second with Stapleton at first. There's Hickey. And missing low, the count 2-0. Boy, Boggs just staring out at Lamp. A 2-0 pitch. And that's ball 3, 3-0. That'll make a pretty good pitch. Well, you can't take anything for granted. There's no question about that. 3 balls and no strikes. And he walks him. So the first walk issued by Lamp. That is the second free pass given to the Red Sox hitters tonight, as the starter Brett Burns walked one, and he walked Boggs, the same man. That was back in the 5th. Reed Nichols being called back, and Ralph Houck says something to him. And he's going to come on and hit for himself. Nichols is 2 for 3 tonight. The bases are full of Red Sox with Rice at third, Stapleton at second, Boggs at first, and Reed Nichols will be the hitter. There's 2 outs, and we're in the top of the ninth. Here's Tony La Russa.
Well, Houck just having to make a decision right there if he wanted Nichols to hit off Lamp or his left-handed pitcher to hit off Hickey.
Now Gray very close at third inside the bag. And there's his strike to Nichols. And the count is 0-1. Gary Allenson on deck as Carlton Fisk looks over his right shoulder to see who's in that on-deck circle. Shot foul. So Lamp way out in front, 0-2.
No sense in Carlton looking over his shoulder to see who's on deck.
Not with the bases loaded. Now here's the man that the Sox need right here. And Reed Nichols. They're out in front, 0-2. Rice at third, Stapleton at second. You look at Allenson on deck. And Boggs at first. Missing outside. 1-2 the count. Well, here's a case where you're a hitter trying to think, now what might he do? Do I think of a pitch or do I look for the baseball?
I think the way he's been hitting the ball, swinging the bat, he's more or less just covering the plate looking for the ball.
Base hit right field. They will score one. Here comes Stapleton. He will score. The throw cut off. And the Red Sox lead it 2-0. Now Nichols, just looking for the baseball, indeed, just goes to the opposite field.
That's all he's doing, just trying to cover the plate. Nichols been swinging the bat very well for the Red Sox. And he has hit the White Sox hard in his short career. Right there, a big base hit for him. And that's Gummit, 2-run score.
Now Dave Duncan going out to the mound to talk to Dennis Lamp. As Gary Allenson will be the hitter. Hickey's been throwing since the start of the inning, or after the first hitter, let's put it that way. And Barojas has got up to join him. Duncan out. Hickey just turns around, and I believe Kevin's about ready. You know he's ready. He's been throwing a long time. So Dave Duncan goes back. And Gary Allenson will be the hitter.
Guess Houck made the right decision.
I guess he did. I don't know. I'd like to know what he told him.
No, he was just calling him back. He was going to pinch hit for him there for a second, and then all of a sudden he was looking at the thing. He looked out the bullpen, saw Hickey, or he had a report out there, left him in.
Now runners at first and third. Just about got away, and it did. It got Allenson. So the bases are loaded to Hoffman.
Failing fastball right here, just chasing Allenson inside, just catching the shirt part.
And the bases are loaded one more time. Boggs at third, with Nichols at second and Allenson at first. The Red Sox 2 runs in the ninth. They lead it 2-0. Hoffman is 0 for 3 tonight. Has struck out twice and flying to center. There's a strike, and the count is 0-1. He can't open those hips up.
Blocked up to no end.
He will not do anything with a pitch inside.
You got to push the bat. You can't push the bat and hit in the big leagues.
Foul tip low. 0-2 the count. Well, we'll check the runners for you. There's Wade Boggs, the key man in this inning. At second base, another big key man is Reed Nichols, got the base hit. And at first base, Gary Allenson, he was hit by the pitch. But 2 runs are already in. Rice and Stapleton have already scored. On deck, Jerry Remy, as the Red Sox have their 8th man to come to the plate. As home plate umpire, Mike Riley corrects the scoreboard. The count is 1-2. Check that, 0-2. They have 1-2 on the board. Got it? Nope. They appeal. Yes, they call him out. As he indeed went around. Riley didn't call it, as Al Clark called it, but the Red Sox come up with 2 runs on 3 hits. hits, no errors, and they leave the bases loaded. To the bottom of the ninth, the Red Sox lead it 2-0.
It's get a car, get a check time again at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. And this time, you have a choice of a factory rebate or unbeatable 9.8% financing. Get $300 back on Reliant, Horizon, Turismo, and others. And $400 on this fabulous LeBaron convertible. They're all covered by Chrysler's exclusive 5-year, 50,000-mile protection plan. So follow the cavalcade of value to your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Why do 100,000-mile flyers choose United?
When I invented the Hobie Cat, I helped a lot more people to enjoy the coast of California. Now United does the same thing, with more flights to the West Coast than any other airline.
United flies 22 nonstops and the most wide bodies to California.
With all this service, plus advanced check-in, United makes doing business in California a real pleasure.
People who fly for a living by United's friendly skies.
Hello, darling. Well, hello, darling.
It's so nice to have you back where you belong.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Carol Channing.
Wow, 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 Sally.
Hey, yo.
Look at the old girl now, Sally.
Coming June 1st to the Erie Crown Theater for 2 weeks only. Call 791-6000.
To the bottom of the ninth, the Red Sox on top 2-0, 18,798. Jerry Harrison will come out, and Harrison will hit for Jerry Dubzinski. On deck, Tony Bernazard. Harrison hitting .286 on the year, 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. Now Jerry is switch hitter. As Hurst delivers a strike, and the count is 0-1. See, the number on Harrison is a pinch hitter. Breaking pitch missing. Kansas City on top of Texas, 5-2 in the top of the ninth. California on top of New York, 2-0 in the top of the second, just outside. And the count 2-1. Inside, the count goes to 3-1. There's a strike and a full count, 3-2. Once again, Bob Stanley up for the Red Sox in their bullpen. He was up last inning. And look it. Now there's one gone. That fastball tailing back, and we talked about it all night. Now one gone. And as we've talked about so many times, who's ever on that mound, there's 9 big outs for you. And it's usually that first one in every inning. As Tony Bernazard will stand in. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Takes a strike, and the count is 0-1. Good off-speed pitch. 0-2 the count. Struck him out on a weak swing. So very quickly, 2 gone. 6 strikeouts. Here's Carlton Fisk with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. Carlton is 0 for 3. One ball and no strikes to count. On deck, Harold Baines. There's a strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. Oh, you look at that. You think he hasn't pitched a whale of a ball game tonight? Retired the last 12 in a row. Just missing outside. 2 balls and a strike. Count 3-1. Now Burns started for the White Sox. He won 8 complete. Fouled away. And the Sox are down to their last strike in their last out. Stapleton, and the ball game is over. As young Bruce Hurst just gives a big sigh of relief as the White Sox are retired 1-2-3 in the 9th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. And the final score as Bruce Hurst pitches a 3-hit shutout. It's the Red Sox 2, the White Sox nothing.
Everyone who knows they've got what it takes to get the job, this Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming.
That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. Hey, this Bud's for you.
Sox Fest.
Like mine, courtesy of Wendy's Hamburgers, if you're one of the first 15,000 fans, 14 or under, who comes out to Comiskey Park with an adult on Jersey Day, Sunday, June 5th, for the doubleheader with the Kansas City Royals.
Jersey Day, Sunday, June the 5th, sponsored by Wendy's Hamburgers.